All right, question of the week. What round of the playoffs do you think the Minnesota Timberwolves can get to this year? They look good. Anthony Edwards is scary, and they have a deep team. Yeah, tell me in the comments what round you think the Wolves can get to. As always, subscribe to the channel if you're interested. I make a video every week, and we're going to have some fun stuff coming through the rest of the playoffs and in the summer. All right, so I got really excited to watch this night of basketball. We're recording on Wednesday night. It's 10 p.m. Lakers Wolves just ended, and Warriors and Rockets played earlier. But like I said, I was super stoked. Both my favorite teams were playing tonight. I was ready. I had dinner with my dad ready to go, and I was excited to watch both games. Um, we'll talk about the Lakers Wolves game first. Unfortunately, the last game that we'll be seeing from the Lakers this year, they lost to the Timberwolves, and it's pretty crazy to think that LeBron James and Luka Doncic only won a single playoff game this year. When that trade happened earlier in the year, I was very excited, along with many other people, and we didn't know what the ceiling was for this team. A lot of people put money on them to win the championship. I thought they were going to get out of the first round, but they didn't, and it came down to a few factors to me. Number one is I think game one was a huge missed opportunity for the Lakers. They just came out with no energy, and the Wolves just pounced on them. And you don't want to be in a hole already to start a series and losing a game at home. That was a real wake up call, and it gave the Wolves a ton of confidence, which is a team that can thrive on confidence and be really like dangerous, or they can, shoot themselves in the foot, think too much, and we've seen them like go down that way too. But the Lakers not winning game one put them in a massive hole and really put them in a desperate situation pretty quickly in the series. And one thing that was obvious too is the Lakers are pretty one dimensional. And you saw that with in the previous game, them playing JJ Redick playing the starters for 24 straight minutes in the second half of last game. It's basically Luka and LeBron James creating stuff on offense and hoping that the other players make their threes and can play some good defense. But that's kind of the only option that they have. And for the Timberwolves, they've had 4 games up until tonight to practice against that. And then they also have the tools necessary with their roster to throw different looks at the Lakers. Rudy Gobert had probably his best statistical game of his career tonight. And he was someone who wasn't that big of a factor earlier in the series. He had 20 plus rebounds, over 25 points tonight. He was using his size to overwhelm the Lakers. The Lakers were not getting offensive boards because of him, and he was getting offensive boards of his own on the other side and finishing around the rim. Like he had no resistance at the rim. He was blocking shots. He was protecting his own rim. And usually the Lakers are smart enough or are savvy enough to get fouls on Rudy, and he has to come out of the game. Uh, Not tonight. He was able to stay in and really wrought havoc. I hope that's the right term on this Lakers team, and they couldn't handle him. And then, I mean, earlier in the game, Luka was not playing great defense. The Wolves came out strong again in this game, and then Luka got hurt, and he's going to the locker room right before halftime. And I'm thinking, dang, like he might be gone for the game. Excuse me. But then he comes back and he has a great third quarter. He starts making a ton of plays. He's drawing fouls. He's assisting guys. Their offense is working. And then it just wasn't enough in the fourth quarter. Again, not much scoring from Luka or LeBron in the fourth. And it feels like Luka, when he's tired, tends to complain a bit more. Well, fast forward to like the last 2, 3 minutes of the game, Luca had a wide open lay, well, not wide open. He had a layup that he makes 90% of the time. He missed it. And instead of running back when there's 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go of like the last playoff game of your season, he turns to the ref and starts bouncing up and down and trying to get his attention. No call has ever been, I was gonna say, no call has ever been overturned. That's not true anymore, but no ref is going to hear a complaint and think, oh, no, you're right. Actually, I should have called that. They will tell you that afterwards, but they're not going to stop the play. Meanwhile, the Wolves are breaking down to the other side of the court and they get an easy bucket. So that was bad. And then LeBron actually, I mean, they're down six. I think it was down. They might have been down eight. They're down like within striking distance. And Braun made a great move on Rui, or on Rudy, did a step back and had a great look for three. He just missed it. And if you're gonna have Luca missing a layup and not running back on D, LeBron James missing shots, it's just not going to be enough down the stretch. And then Lakers had the ball and had 43 seconds. They were down six. They were lucky to get this rebound off of Julius Randle three. Looked like a bunch, like two or three Wolves went up for it, and it ricocheted off their hands into a Lakers rebound. And LeBron James kicks it up to Gabe Vincent, and then Gabe Vincent just pulls up for three, and it was kind of a contested shot. And I'm thinking, dude, you need to. One of the two stars on the team has to touch the ball in that scenario. You have to get a better shot than that. And when he missed that, it was like, all right, sick. 38 seconds now. I think they fouled Julius Randle after that. But it was just underwhelming. And it comes down to the Lakers being one dimensional for me. And then also LeBron James and Luka Doncic are an offensive powerhouse. And they scored 96 points in this game. That's just not going to cut it. Their team needs to be scoring over 110 for an easy victory. They had no easy victories in this series, and I don't know what they're going to do from here. It's hard to not think about. I wonder what this team would have looked like with Anthony Davis on it instead of Luka Doncic. I think, of course, you still make that trade 100 times out of 100. And I don't think if they had AD that they would have fared much better against this Wolves team. But this was extremely underwhelming in terms of what I was excited for the Lakers, and I know many others were. So that's the end of the Lakers season. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, they win one game together, one playoff game together, and I guess you retool and get ready for next year for them. Is LeBron James still going to be playing at this amazing level? Probably, but it's just, I mean, it's got to end sometime, right? I don't want it to. Okay. Other interesting things about this game, real quick, and then we'll move on to the Warriors Rockets game. Maxi Kleba played in this game. I forgot that he was on the Lakers roster for a little bit. I think if he had been playing in the past month, that he would have been a lot better for today. But it just felt like he wasn't ready for the moment. And then this was one of the worst challenges I've ever seen where what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? I can see his face. A Lakers player had the ball and wanted to bounce pass it down to Gabe Vincent on the baseline. It clearly hits off Rudy Gobert's knee and goes out of bounds. And it's just point blank, super obvious on the replay. I don't know how. Maybe the Wolves bench thought that Gabe Vincent touched it on the way out, but if they were looking at it coming off of Rudy's knee and still thought they should challenge it, that was dumbfounding to me. That was one of the easiest challenges that you shouldn't have made. Worst challenge ever, in my opinion, so far. And yeah, let's see. Anything else about this game? No, I don't think so. Wolves look scary. Yeah, let me know in the comments how far you think they can go, because I mean, I'm a Warriors fan, but Warriors against this team, I think they're going to have some trouble. stopping their high power offense and their size. I mean, we're seeing the Warriors have trouble with the Rockets, and I think the Rockets wouldn't stand a chance either. So we'll see. Moving on to Warriors Rockets. I came into this game thinking that the Warriors are probably going to show up. They might see if they can get hot in the beginning, and then they're going to fall back on let's let Houston save some face and win this game at home. We'll go close this thing out back in the Bay Area. And boy, was it a rout within the first quarter. The Rockets had doubled them up. It was 25 to 49 basically at some point in the second quarter. Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry hadn't scored a point. It was 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, and neither of them had scored. And it was just wild to see. And there's no way you're going to win a game like that. But it was, I think that mentality of like, let's just win this back at home. Like we have three chances to win one game. You're playing with fire a little bit there. The Rockets might be feeling confident now, and they know if we just win one more in Golden State, then we have a game seven on our home floor. That's kind of scary. And then if you're the Warriors, you want this series to be over quickly so that you can A, rest a bit and get ready for the next series because now Minnesota's already waiting. And B, every game that you play against these Rockets, you're getting more banged up and more chance for injury to occur. That's scary as a fan. So I thought they would come out with a bit more urgency and be a bit sharper today. Taking a macro look at this series, I really hope the Warriors can pull this out, and I think they will. But I've been thinking about it like this is really a battle of styles. On one hand, the Rockets are just athletic, big, and brute strength and use like their sheer will to overpower teams and win games. And they won a lot of games. And then on the other side, you have the Warriors who are a lot more like well-oiled machine offense. They run a lot more plays. There's a lot more off-ball movement and like reading of the defense and taking what the defense gives you, finding the open man. And then of course you have Steph and some of the other Warriors making really highly skilled shots. So it's like brute versus like finesse. And the type of basketball that I like to watch and that I find really fun to play is the finesse way. And I hope that the Warriors can win this series so that they can keep carrying that flag for finesse basketball. I think they will because I mean basketball is you need skill. You need to be able to make shots, and the Rockets don't really make that many shots. Fred VanVleet made a bunch today. He made a bunch last game. But if he's not hitting, then they're not really scoring that well. The Rockets, I mean. So yeah, battle of styles here. Let's see what happens back in the Bay Area. One thing I thought I would never see that I saw today was Amen Thompson like almost started something with Gary Payton earlier on in the game, and Dylan Brooks actually came in and like pushed him away, Amen Thompson, to and told him like not to instigate something. That is something I never thought I'd see. I thought it would be the other way around, where Brooks would come in and like be at his teammates' defense and escalate it. So that was funny to see. Yeah, the Warriors, their big Achilles heel today was they just turn the ball over. Like if they don't turn the ball over, then the Rockets aren't getting these easy shots. And the Warriors can score in the half court way more easily than the Rockets can. So if one, you're not turning the ball over, you're getting better shots or you're getting more shots. Two, you're forcing the Rockets to take it out of bounds and you have your defense set up. So combination of turnovers and not hitting shots really just put the Warriors in a huge hole. Also, really interesting is I barely saw Draymond Green the whole first half. And I was kind of waiting to see how long it would take until the chippiness in this between these teams would start, because in the past couple games, it's like, all right, maybe the first quarter is a bit of a feel out, and then second quarter, like something happens, and then in third and fourth quarters, it's like every couple minutes there's something. This game, maybe it was because the Rockets just got off to such a crazy start. There was like there was no animosity shown between these teams, and I think that might have contributed to the Warriors just not getting off to a good start. It's like Draymond is kind of their backbone, and he did not make his presence known in this game. So they were down by a bunch. And as I was telling my friends, like if you let Houston reach 100 points before the third quarter is even over, you're not winning that game. So the Warriors, they kind of mailed this one in, and I hope they take the next game very seriously in Golden State, because what you don't want is a game in Houston against the higher seeded team after they have just won twice against you. So Warriors need to get it done at home. Yeah, game fives, two crazy game fives didn't go as I wanted in either game, but that's what happens sometimes. And now, I mean, Minnesota's going to move on. I'm actually excited to keep following them and see what happens. Hopefully, they play the Warriors next, but we'll see. We get another slog fest with between Golden State and Houston in a couple of days. So, um, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.